We have a recess facing us very quickly, and it's really too bad that another record has been broken by the Republicans for their inaction. Loretta Lynch has been publicly supported by Republicans, Lindsey Graham, Chuck Grassley, and others. But yet, we're not going to have this good woman approved before we leave here, and that is unfortunate. It's been pending. It's a modern record that has been broken. The last 35 years, no one has waited as long as this woman to become Attorney General. Now, we know a record was broken before when former Republican Senator Chuck Hagel waited a record-breaking time for Secretary of Defense. It shouldn't happen with an Attorney General. Loretta Lynch is qualified, and that's an understatement. That's all I have to say. Senator Durbin.
We have 17 days left before the Department of Homeland Security runs out of money. Why? Why have the Republicans made the Department of Homeland Security the issue that they want to fight immigration over? This department, which is charged with keeping America safe, has been limping along on a continuing resolution for 4 months while the Republicans have geared up for a fight on immigration. America deserves a strong Department of Homeland Security. We need to pass it this week. Last week, the Majority Leader came to the floor with the unanimous consent request to fully fund the Department of Homeland Security, and the Republicans objected. Before we leave, we need to get this job done. Let's have the bill on the calendar for full funding of the Department of Homeland Security passed.
Sure.
Thank you. Well, we're just 2.5 short weeks from Republicans choosing to follow Ted Cruz into a box canyon and shutting down the Department of Homeland Security. Incidentally, I had to look up what a box canyon was. It's sort of like the dead end on 9th Avenue in Manhattan. Anyway, 18 days. Are you so serious you don't laugh at anything over there in the press corps?
We only laugh at things that are funny.
Yeah. Thanks, Harry. My best friend. Okay, 18 days until tens of thousands of DHS workers are furloughed, fire grants to local fire departments stop being sent out, training local first responders in handling terrorist attacks stops, all dead in their tracks. 18 days until our national security is harmed. And still, Republicans haven't come up with a way to stop holding hostage funding for DHS. The Republican majority is twiddling its thumbs as it gets closer and closer to shutting down DHS. We Democrats have pushed for a clean DHS funding bill, followed by a robust debate on immigration reform. We welcome that debate. But the Republicans have insisted on sticking to their hostage-taking tactics. Now we're starting to see that having failed vote after failed vote isn't going to fund DHS. Republicans are learning. Earlier today, Senator Cornyn said, quote, "We've tried 3 times. I guess we could try 3 times more in the Senate, but I suspect the outcome would be the same," unquote. So now that they're getting the message that the House bill will not pass, a few Republicans are beginning to talk about a short-term continuing resolution that would guarantee another cliff and more brinkmanship and underfund DHS in the meantime. Delaying this same standoff by a few weeks or months isn't a plan B. It's no plan at all. There are lots of problems when a CR moves forward. A Secret Service can't move forward with reforms recommended by an independent panel of experts. DHS couldn't upgrade a biometric ID system, and many others. So we prefer full funding of the bill. Rather than kicking the can down the road, Republicans need to work with Democrats to pass a clean bill that fully funds the Homeland Security Department. Don't let the department shut down. Don't set up another slowdown. Don't underfund the men and women who keep us safe 24/7.
Senator Murray.
Well, enough is enough. There really is absolutely no reason for this uncertainty, no reason for politics to keep coming before our national security. and no reason for Republicans to continue playing these political games. The irresponsible Republican proposal simply will not pass the Senate and get signed into law. Their bill would tear apart families, it puts our security at risk, and it threatens all of the work we have done recently as Republicans and Democrats to keep our government, all of our government, functioning. So it's time for Republicans to accept that their bill is not the answer and work with us on a clean bill that can pass the Senate and be signed into law. Majority Leader McConnell has already admitted that, quote, at the end of the day, the Senate will fund the Department of Homeland Security. Well, that day is approaching. Let's get it done.
Leader Reid.
Yes.
Clearly it's not the preferred option, but would Senate Democrats support a short-term CR?
I think a short-term CR would be very, very bad. On the Sunday shows, Jay Johnson was very explicit. He went into some detail as what not a shutdown would be. It would be 30,000 furloughs. He went into some detail about what a CR would do. It would eliminate almost $1 billion of funding that was go directly to the states. So a CR, it was not good. It's not good for protecting our homeland. Yes. Well, my recovery is going fine. They've done some good work reconstructing my face, so I have sides both match. Tomorrow they're going to go and do some other stuff. And I hope it all works out well.
Senator Reid,
Yeah.
this morning, former Senator Packwood was testifying at the Finance Committee. Do you have any thoughts on A, the decision to invite him, and B, whether or not he should be welcomed given the circumstances under which he departed?
I'm not here to denigrate a man that was served in the Senate. He left under very difficult circumstances, and I think the Ethics Committee did a good job of doing their work. But it's, I don't know who invited him, but you know, I don't make that decision. Maybe I would have made a different decision, but there's no need to pile on. He's already been punished.
Senator Reid,
Yeah.
can you tell us about what you heard in that room in terms of the AUMF?
I'm sorry, say what?
AUMF.
Oh, okay, fine. We had a very good discussion. The President's Chief Counsel was at our caucus. He outlined what the President was trying to do. We had a very good exchange with Senator Menendez, Senator Kane, and many others who feel strongly about this. And the purpose of this, inviting he and the President Chief of Staff to our meeting today, was to begin a discussion of AUMF. And that discussion has started. There were no conclusions reached today, but it was a good beginning discussion, as recognized by the President's counsel, who said he appreciated so much the input that he received from everyone, and we're hopeful that we can come up with a bipartisan agreement.
Is this an AUMF you could support in the fashion that it was delivered?
There is no way to focus on an AUMF that was there. This was the beginning, this was the opening salvo, and there's nothing finalized yet as far as I could determine. Yes.
Considering the difficulty this Congress has to coalescing around ideas, just in general, how hard would it be to actually pass an AUMF through Congress and send it to the President's desk?
Well, the first 5 or 6 weeks of this session, we spent 90% of it importing oil from a foreign country to import to some other foreign country. We're now trying to do something very basic, like get enough money to support the important cabinet office of Secretary of Homeland Security, and that isn't accomplished. So I think that I would suggest that the Republican, and they have a huge majority in the Senate and the House, I would suggest they all read the Wall Street Journal editorial that came out yesterday. Maybe they could get their act together so we have someone to work with. At this stage, we've had no one to work with. Thanks, everybody.